Okay, so in this video we're going to be taking a look at the ongoing issue which I can only call Sunbedgate over here in Puerto Pollensa, by the fact there are no sunbeds or beach umbrellas over here on the Puerto Pollensa beaches. But it's not just here, it also affects Cala San Vicente up the coast, and there's also Formentor Beach as well, just a little bit further around the coast too. But it is not just sunbeds and beach umbrellas that are missing from the beaches over here. In the port, we're also missing a full range of beach services too. So that means chiringuitos, or the beach bars. It also means as well there are no toilets down here. And even worse, there are no boardwalks too. And that means that the access routes as well that help you get down onto the sand if you're in a wheelchair or you do have a pushchair or buggy too. Well, this is now the end of the very first week of June. And you may have been following the channel over the past couple of months. You've heard me talking about this issue. I thought it would have been resolved by now, and it hasn't been. So what is going on? But first I'm going to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel as well, because I don't think this is going to be the end of the story. I'm going to keep bringing you updates from up here in Puerto Pollensa, and of course I'll be running a live stream from up here very soon too. Now, if you are coming on holiday over here to Puerto Pollensa, and indeed to this whole area, you may well be part of some of the Puerto Pollensa Facebook groups, and in these groups as well you're going to see some very unhappy holidaymakers who are complaining about the lack of beach services down here. They're complaining about the lack of sunbeds, and rightly so too, because, well, of course we do get many elderly holidaymakers who just want to come down to the beach. They don't want to have to lug down a deck chair and a beach umbrella and set it up every day and then lug it back to their hotel. So this has proved to be a really hot topic, and I can't believe I'm still talking about this. But also keep watching until the end of this video, because I'm going to be showing you something that I don't think you're going to be very happy about, and it kind of makes this whole situation quite real as well. Okay, so I have a contact now over in Puerto Pollensa Town Hall who's been extremely helpful. I had a chat to her just yesterday, and she gave me the most up-to-date information about the beach services over here in Puerto Pollensa. And she told me the following. She said that they are currently awaiting approval from the Costas Authority. Now, as many of you know, if you've been watching my previous video, you'll know that the Costas Authority are the group that run the coastlines, which run all the way around Majorca, and if you so much as put a table and chair on the sand, if you're running this for commercial purposes, then you do need their permission. Now, we know that this has caused issues in the past, and we also know as well that we have had a government change over here in Majorca from last summer. So apparently, and according to press reports from last summer, the Costas Authority actually gave the Balearic government in the region of 1.3 million euros to get a team on board to manage the coastlines around here in Majorca. So technically we could say that the problem here is coming from the government of the Balearic Islands. I mean, I'm not completely sure about this, and I'm pretty sure you don't care either. You just want to know when these sunbeds are going to be appearing on the beaches. But this process, I'm pretty sure, was meant to simplify the granting of licenses to get these sunbeds out on the beaches. So what has happened? So I have been told by Puerto Pollensa Town Hall that the bidding process is now going to be opening up again to those people who are going to be providing beach services, so the sailing and kayak services as well this summer. But they're trying to accelerate the process to get the permission signed off by the Costas Authority to allow the sunbeds and the other beach services, and even just the toilet blocks, to be opened up on the beaches over here. I know on Facebook I've seen a lot of holidaymakers are coming over here. They're complaining to tourist information, they're complaining to their hotels, and rightly so as well. But the only thing that the tourist information people and the hotels can really offer is sympathy for those coming over here on holiday. They can't do anything. This whole issue is just completely wrapped up in bureaucracy, and I can only hope that it is sorted out soon. But in the meantime, it's going to be a case of, if you do want a sunbed and the beach umbrella on the beach, well, you have a couple of options. The first is to venture into one of the many spa shops which run all the way through the centre of the resort. Go and get yourself a chair, go and get yourself a beach umbrella. I think they've done booming business for this summer. We're going to go and have a quick look at what the prices are like. I don't know whether the prices have been put up from when I first filmed out here this spring. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but let's go and check it out, because of course there is going to be a huge demand for these beach umbrellas and sunbeds as well from the shops. There's another option too. You can also rent beach umbrellas and sunbeds as well from a company called Multi-Hire over here in Puerto Pollensa. If you're from that company, drop your details below, let people know how they can contact you. You can also rent from them as well, kind of like a beach cart, so you can put everything into that beach cart and drag it along to the beach as well. So that's a really good service to have, particularly if you're coming over here with small kids. But it's also going to mean as well, and the one thing that I can see that this is going to mean is that we are going to be getting an increase of, how can I put it, sunbed wars over at the hotels, particularly any of the hotels over here that do have swimming pools. We hear it every year. Holidaymakers are getting up, they're running down to the poolside, they're throwing a towel onto their sunbed at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning to make sure they have the sunbed for the day around by the pool. And the situation up here in Puerto Pollensa, I'm anticipating is going to be pretty bad, because of course if you're, say, elderly and you're coming over here on holiday, you maybe won't be able to come to the beach. With a sunbed or a beach umbrella, you're going to want to get that poolside spot. So that's another ongoing issue as well, and it's something else that then the hoteliers need to sort out too. So I do have to say, if you're coming over here, if you're one of those people laying out towels on sunbeds at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, please don't do it. It's just not cool. There's probably enough sunbeds to go around. If you just use them for the duration of the day that you actually want them, take your beach towel with you and let someone else have that sunbed for the rest of the day too. Now, it's not just a sunbed and beach umbrella issue, it's also the overriding issue that the toilet blocks also have not been opened yet for this summer down on the beach, and I think that's particularly bad actually. Forget about even the sunbeds and the beach umbrellas, because what does that mean? Well, I hate to say it, but well, people are going to be using the sea, which is just horrible, or they're going to have to be going into hotels, and they're going to have to be going into restaurants and asking as well if they can use the loos, which isn't great, or indeed just hot-footing it back to their accommodation, which I'm pretty sure none of you signed up for when you came over here on holiday. You kind of expect a very basic level of services, and it's just a shame that they couldn't have had a cleaner come down to the toilet blocks on the beach once a day as a very, very minimum. So that really is a shame. And well, you're going to see that things like this being complained about on social media, and rightly so. You guys are paying an absolute premium for coming over here on holiday, and you have every single right to complain about this. So the big question is, when are we going to see the beach services return to Puerto Pollensa beaches? When indeed, that's all I can say. I have asked the town hall if they anticipate that the beach services will be out in June. They hope so, but they can't even guarantee it either. I asked them if they'd be out in July, if they'd definitely be out in July for when we have the big surge of tourists coming over here to the island. Again, they said probably. So that's really all the news I have for you on that front too. It's not ideal, it's not fantastic, but that's the only news that I have. Okay, so let's leave the beach behind now, and let's just head into our nearest spa shop, and let's see how much sunbeds and beach umbrellas are going to be. But first, we're going to take a quick break in this video to hear from a holidaymaker who's just arrived over here in Puerto Pollensa about what she thinks about the lack of beach services in the resort. So I'm just talking to Beverly from Yorkshire here about the whole sunbed issue. Beverly, good afternoon. Tell me, what do you think about the lack of beach services over here on the Puerto Pollensa beaches?
Well, we were a bit upset that there wasn't any sunbeds, and we feel that it's because they don't want the tourism. They don't want the tourists, that's what we felt. But we just bought umbrellas from the shop and just sat on the beach. It's a lot quieter, which is nice, but it's just upsetting if they don't want tourists.
That's really interesting you say that, because I have been going around the island asking holidaymakers whether they feel welcome over here in Majorca, but you're actually feeling yourself that you're feeling unwelcome over here in Puerto Pollensa, that they don't actually want to cater for you being over here.
Yes, exactly. That's what I thought the problem was. I didn't know it was about licensing or anything. To me, it was just, we don't want the tourists, so we're not going to do anything for them and have the sunbed so they can lay on the beach.
That's awful. That's really awful. I can say now I can say now, as a local, we definitely want you over here. You are more than welcome over here in Puerto Pollensa and indeed the rest of Mallorca. But I mean, it is just it's an issue of bureaucracy.
Right.
It's a paperwork issue.
Yeah, I understand that. Obviously, you get bureaucracy everywhere, so that's okay. Then that's nice to know.
Yeah.
And we'll just muddle through until it all gets sorted out. As I said, we just sort of made our own arrangements today. But it is quiet on the beach. It is a bit eerie sometimes, but it's been nice. We've made the most of it.
Yeah.
But to see the vibrancy of the beach last time we came, and all the vendors and everything, and now it's just a little bit dead. It is a shame.
Okay, Beverly, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your holiday, and thank you very much for speaking to me today.
Okay. Thank you.
So I'm just turning around here. I can see a supermercado in front of me. I can see a little spa type shop. Let's go across the road and see how much some umbrellas are here, and indeed if they do also sell sunbeds. Now, I do seem to remember they're around €10 at the beginning of the season. Let's see how much they are today. Wow, check that out. €17.95, that'd be €18 for a beach umbrella. If you do get yourself a beach umbrella, do pass it on to another visitor. If you're leaving the port and you don't want to take it home with you, do they do beach chairs too? Let's go and have a quick look. And yes, they do, €36 or 45. You can also get like a type of beach mat as well. So this is a lot lighter to carry. I actually had one of these a few years ago. They're €28. I do actually recommend these because they give your back some support on the sand, so you're not just sitting on the towel. Might be a little bit hard to get up from though if you do have mobility issues, which if that is the case, then here's a selection of beach chairs for you. But of course, shops like this as well, they also sell lilos. You can get these kind of like chair style lilos as well. There's no price on that one. I can see the one next to it is €20. We've got plenty of choice down here as well. And of course you can take these into the sea, so that's quite good fun. Most of these shops as well will also inflate these inflatables for you too, once you've picked out what it is you want to take down to the beach. They've also got a great selection of beach toys as well and games. Things you can't rent any pedalos or anything like that, so plenty to keep you occupied. So it's not so bad. And look, we're right across the road from the beach here. Okay, so I'm going to head out of Puerto Pollensa now. I'm actually going to head on to the outskirts of the town because I want to show you something which I don't think you're going to be entirely happy about, but let's jump in the car and drive. Okay, so I've come to the part of the video which may well make some of you Puerto Pollensa holiday makers a little bit angry, and I'm just going to turn the camera around here because what can we see behind me? Well, we can see all the sunbeds here which should be down on the beaches in Puerto Pollensa, in Cala, Vicente, over in Formentor too, but they're not on the beaches. They're over here in a polygon, in an industrial estate over here in Pollensa town. Now I'm in this industrial estate right behind Lidl. We can see all the sunbeds stacked up here. Now I have been tipped off by one of the Pollensa Facebook groups. I'm going to drop a link to some of those fantastic groups below as well. They're a great source of information, so make sure you go and check them out. But when will they be out on the beaches? Well, who can say, and how much they're going to be this year? Now I seem to remember last year down on the main beach, on Tamarel's beach, they were around €15 for 2 sunbeds and the beach umbrella. A little bit more further up off the Pine Walk on Albuquerque's beach, they're around €20. However, in my next video update about Sunbedgate from over here in Puerto Pollensa, I have a feeling that when the prices get announced for the sunbed rentals for over here in Puerto Pollensa, they're going to be extremely expensive, and they're going to be more expensive than they were last year, because don't forget, these are going to be new contracts that are going to be signed for the next 4 years. And as we know from the sunbed rentals over in Calvia, those prices have gone up, so I think it's safe to say that we can expect the same here. Okay everyone, I hope this video has proved useful. I'll be back here up in Puerto Pollensa, hopefully not in this industrial estate, but hopefully I'll be back in the resort very soon to give you an update about this. Stay tuned. Don't forget you can find me on the Facebook group, you can find me on my Instagram, also called Mallorca Under the Sun. Check out some of the other Puerto Pollensa Facebook groups as well, they're a great source of information too, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.